care about it.
I'm not even watching it.
I'm not going to watch it.
I don't care.
Who would genuinely be the bigger club, though?
Oh, the little. I was like, what's going on here?
There is another team involved. I don't know if you...
That is honestly the worst smelling thing we've had.
That is ridiculous. That is absolutely outrageous.
You let me down, Dream Team Instagram.
Hello and welcome back to Dream Team Coach TV. I'm your host Sean Cook. Now today's lineup are so good they make Man City look like, well, Man United really. That is of course Andy Taylor, Dream Team Coach Nick Elliott and Sean Burke. How are we all doing?
I was good and then you cracked that joke and now I'm fuming.
Fair play. We have a very special forfeit at the end of today's show. I genuinely feel sorry for whoever has to do it. Are we feeling nervous?
Yeah, because it's me.
You're that confident?
I've not looked into the numbers, but I know it's me. Yeah, so scroll forward 18 minutes.
Spoiler alert.
And you'll see me doing the forfeit.
Now, let's get stuck in with the only game that really matters this weekend. That is, of course, the Champions League final on Saturday between the mighty Spurs and Liverpool. First question is, who do you want to win and why?
The thought of Spurs winning the Champions League is too awful to even contemplate. I've not even thought of like Liverpool winning it. That's never even entered my mind.
No.
It would just mean them not winning it. Like my housemate is a Spurs fan.
Yeah.
And up until now we've had this funny, odd couple, quirky relationship, but now it's gotten serious.
Yeah.
I have to live with that. He's promised to paint the walls all entirely white, including my bedroom. Because he's the landlord as well. I'm going to have to move out. Like, the stakes are high for me.
Your bedroom could do with a little repaint.
Yeah, I mean,
so.
Yeah.
How would you know, right?
Here's a question for you. Would you rather that both Arsenal and Spurs won their European finals or both lost?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh, man. Honestly, I think I'd honestly rather they both lose just because it's so awful to even imagine Spurs winning the Champions League.
You love it.
That is such a
Take the
power
loss.
shift. If Spurs
Yeah.
were to win the Champions League before Arsenal did, I don't think I could.
I reckon most would agree with you, to be fair.
Honestly, yeah, come on.
The big talking point of this week, of course, has been about Harry Kane, and he has said that he is fit for the final. Do we think he deserves to start ahead of Lucas Moura following that semi-final performance?
Well, I think you've got to play them both. You
Yeah.
have to. You can't leave out the guy who scored a hat-trick in the semi-final that has literally single-handedly got you there. And also you can't leave out arguably the best striker in the world. And by striker, I'm not comparing him to Messi. I mean, like
Number nine.
out number 9. Yeah.
But considering he's not played football for 2 months, would that not concern you?
I mean,
it concerns me.
I don't think he struggled coming back from injuries before, and it looks like he's been training for quite some time. I mean, the way that he was sprinting on the pitch to celebrate the semi-final suggests that he's not been far off.
Yeah.
See, my concern with that is every time he's come back from injury before and gone straight back in, he overcompensates and tries way too hard.
Yeah.
And hogs the ball, and it can change the whole complexion of
That's
our,
something that
our
can happen
attack.
to every player in a Champions League
Yeah,
final.
no, of course.
People force stuff in finals quite a lot. Like Salah will be shooting from all over the place. I know he shoots a lot anyway, but
Considering after last year, of course, going off,
yeah,
he'll be raring to go.
good
So.
point, yeah.
Now, Liverpool are, of course, strong favourites. Would any Spurs players make their starting 11, do we think? And if so, who do they swap
Done it.
out?
I've
You've done it?
completed the
Oh,
task.
you completed it.
I've got a little.
Completed it, mate.
Yeah, just fill the afternoon.
Yeah, no, of
okay.
course.
Right, I've got Alisson in goal, and then Trent and Robertson full-backs, Van Dijk and Vertonghen centre-back.
Yeah.
Who's the better out of Vertonghen and Alderweireld?
I'd say Jan sneaks it. I think he
That's
just
what I
sneaks
thought,
it,
just
yeah.
about. I thought like Toby has like a higher peak, but
Yeah.
for consistency, Vertonghen's
Yeah, absolutely.
rarely lets you down.
We're all on first name terms with the Spurs players.
I wasn't really. I don't know. He's sucking me in. Like.
You know. Well, mate,
yeah.
go on then, midfield.
Then I've got Christian in midfield. No. I've got Eriksen in midfield with Fabinho sitting, and then I'm going to have Henderson in there. And I'm only saying this because when I do like these 11s, I like to have it balanced. I hate when people when people do Team of the Year and it's like, I will just put Hazard in midfield because you want him in. It's
And
like,
you've
no,
got to stick to
he
a
hasn't
rigid-
played in the
yeah,
midfield
yeah.
for all season. You can't cheat like that. So for balance, I'm having Henderson and then Salah, Kane and Mane up front.
Why did you scoff at Henderson? Who gets in over Henderson?
Sissoko.
I mean, he's improved.
But you're talking about balance, though. Dele Alli surely starts heading.
Well, I don't think that's balanced enough though. If you have Dele and Eriksen in the
Can I get an honest opinion on Dele Alli? Because I've not been seeing anything from him this year, but I don't watch them religiously.
This has been his weakest year so far.
Right.
But like a lot of them that played in the World Cup, Trippier, it's been his worst year. Ali, it's been his worst year. Kane's had several injuries, only made 17 in the Premier League, I think.
Stone's probably not as good as the last couple of
so
years.
I have some sympathy, but I think the World Cup didn't help him. So if Tottenham are crowned European champions, will it be a bigger achievement than Man City's domestic treble this season, do we think?
I think so. I think it's a miracle if Spurs win it. If you consider the run they've had, the fact that I've almost forgotten that they didn't even sign anyone. I know you've not really improved in the league, but the fact that that team finished 30 points behind City last year, I would have given them no hope. And you've got to the final. And I imagine the betting would have suggested that domestic treble for City would have been a lot more lighter than Spurs winning the Champions League.
With the squad they had. And even the way Spurs started in the Champions League as well, like group stages looked a bit ropey for a while.
Yeah.
We went to the Barca game, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot.
It was great fun, yeah.
We've been part of the run.
Yeah, we were there,
And that's
guys.
the stat
You
I
were there cheering the Spurs on.
Yeah. I mean, we were. We sat in the Barca end as well, so we really had to keep our head down.
Oh yeah, so I forgot you in it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was looking at. Sorry,
So
mate.
and the stat I keep digging up as well, on the 76th minute of match day 4 in the group stage, Spurs had 1 point.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Which is mental.
I don't think we should take City's domestic treble for granted, though. I mean, Fergie famously said that that'd be impossible to do, and obviously City have done it now for the first time. Zidane says that he thinks it's harder to win the league than the Champions League because you need to be consistent over 38 weeks, whereas the Champions League, well, you don't even have to be good for the whole 13 games, like Spurs proved. They were rubbish in the first 3 and a couple of the knockouts as well. So as long as you're right at the right time, you can get there.
Yeah. So cut forward to full time in Madrid. Who do we think is going to be lifting that trophy? Will it be Hugo Lloris or, just think about this for a second, Jordan Henderson lifting the Champions League? Sean?
Jordan Henderson.
Yeah, Hendo.
There we go. Now, because we filmed this on a Wednesday, we don't yet know what happens in the Europa League final. So unless you support Arsenal or Chelsea, does anyone care about it?
I'm not even watching it, mate.
I'm not going to watch it.
I don't care.
I don't
about
blame you, lads. You know, I think most Arsenal fans as well would see it, and Chelsea fans, as literally less of a trophy and more of just like Champions League qualification. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
Which kind of takes the shine off it a little bit. I mean, that would be great, but
But why should we give a toss about it as neutrals if literally your own fan base don't care? I mean, I've literally got Arsenal mates that I had to tell them that they'd played in the semi-final. They were like, "Oh shit, was that last night?"
that was me.
That was Sean. That was Sean. Yeah.
Yeah, mates.
They look down on the Europa League and they just think, "Oh, why are we here? We need to be in the Champions League."
Yeah,
I just don't like that. They just don't.
to be fair, it's probably quite a privileged position of Arsenal specifically, considering they were in the Champions League for like 20 years in a row. Like, it's probably still like, no, we don't belong to be here, right? We're better than this, right? Yeah. But I don't know. Give it a few years, we'll see.
Arsenal haven't won they've won the Cup Winners' Cup and the Intercity Fairs Cup or whatever.
Yeah.
Apart from those two, they haven't won a European trophy. This is a great chance.
And they've won a few
I
Emirates
know.
Cups as well.
No, true.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I would love to see Arsenal win a trophy, but it's just unfortunate that it's the same week that Spurs are in the Champions League final.
Are you more nervous about tonight or Saturday?
Saturday.
That's got to be Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Just imagine
that.
a
That's
world where Spurs have won a Champions
my
League.
entire Arsenal fan career, I guess, not a career, has literally been Arsenal have been the dominant ones. That has been like default setting. I think this would completely turn.
I hate
on
to
its
say this,
head.
but you probably haven't been paying attention for the last 3 years.
I know. It's been.
Who would be the bigger club after that? Now I know Arsenal have got a better history, but who
got the Premier Leagues
would
as well.
genuinely be the bigger club though?
That's the thing, is the Premier League.
I'd say
changed that.
still Arsenal.
Yeah,
They
I
changed
think
that.
Spurs bigger stadium, only Champions League between them,
they need to do it for
finishing
longer though.
higher
I think.
consistently.
You if you say bigger club right now or bigger club?
Yeah.
No,
overall.
That's the thing,
I'm
some would
talking-
argue
I'm talking
Arsenal
o-
got a bigger fan base
I'm
worldwide.
talking overall.
Definitely
overall,
Arsenal.
still Arsenal.
Arsenal,
I'd say
yeah.
Arsenal, yeah.
Yeah.
I can make a big case for Spurs though. Look at Sean, he's so happy. I can though.
I'm
You've won a Champions
beaming.
League. Champions League, bigger stadium.
Yeah, but I love the stadium.
That's where it loses.
I love the stadium. They were the pettiness, didn't they? They made it 1,000 bigger than
Yeah.
Arsenal, and every little bit is it's just a little 1%
better.
bigger than Arsenal.
One more
better than
urinal,
Arsenal.
one
yeah,
more everything.
yeah, exactly.
Now, if Arsenal do miss out on Champions League football, could Lacazette and Aubameyang get itchy feet and head off? Do we think? Is that?
I don't know. It's a good
Stranger things
question,
have
to be
happened.
honest. And it'd have to be like a 2-for-1 package because they're such good pals. You want
yeah.
to split them up, you know. I don't know. I mean, Aubameyang's
I do like
30.
the little. I do like the.
Oh, the little. I was like, what's going on here? Yeah, that's quite nice. I like that.
Nice.
You know, everyone enjoys a good bromance every now and then. But
Yeah.
I know Aubameyang's 30 now as well, so.
Well, I mean, we're talking as if they're going to walk into a better side than Arsenal. I don't think they do.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think Lacazette would be good number 9 for Barcelona.
I agree with that.
I think he'd be
Or
good.
a Griezmann replacement at Atletico potentially.
Yeah, then
Atletico better than Arsenal, though?
Yeah.
Well,
Now, moving on, let's check out how strong your meme game is this week. First up, we have Nick's team. Nick's meme, rather.
yeah. I mean, saw it and I thought, strong thing. Do you know, it really struggled to think of like who to put in the keep section. I was like, there must be one Man United player that they want to keep, and it really took me a long time. So I was like, Luke Shaw won their player of the year, so I'd stick him in there.
Next up, we have Sean's. Talk us through this.
So, I saw a headline yesterday. Apparently, Roberto Martinez was favourite to take over Barcelona, which...
A big fan with the Dream Team audience.
You know, that's what I figured. Now, I don't think it got quite the response I was hoping for, because as far as I remember, at least maybe a year or two ago, Dream Team Instagram was just like up the ticks.
Pure
Roberto
wicked.
Martinez central. I was like, I can just mention him and people will go mad for it.
Finally, Andy, this is your one. I did this one for you.
Yeah, thanks, mate. I appreciate that.
You should have screwed him over like
Yeah,
I did to Nick
think
weeks
about
ago.
it. I did think about it,
Footballers
but
that nobody hates. I mean,
It's a nice meme. I like it.
It's quite wholesome,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
It's quite
That's
wholesome.
I thought
Exactly.
it all
really
stems
dirty.
from Son, doesn't it, though,
Yeah.
really?
So let's reveal who had the most likes. In third place was Sean Burke.
Surprise. You let me down, Dream Team Instagram. Let me down.
In second place was me and Andy. And that means for what, the fourth week in a row,
getting a bit
this
tiresome,
week's
isn't
meme master is Nick Elliott.
He's the Juventus of our meme competition.
That's it.
Moving on, for this week's draft, we're of course going to choose players from the Champions League final. We're going to go clockwise, and once a player is picked, no one else can have them in their team. Sean Burke, you get the first pick from the Champions League final. Who are we going with?
Okay. Mane.
Salah.
Salah.
Trent.
Okay, good shout.
Robertson.
Robertson.
Firmino.
Van Dijk.
There is another team involved. I don't know if you remember that.
Vertonghen.
Good shout.
Alisson.
I'll go Son.
Lloris.
So Matip then, I think. Is he going to play? Matip will play, won't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll have Eriksen.
Okay.
Let's go with Kane.
Big call.
Wijnaldum.
Delhi.
Sixth pick, Sean.
Mora.
Yeah, Milner.
No, I'll have Origi.
Origi. Origi.
Front.
Yeah. Is Sturridge fit? Is he playing?
You can't pick Sturridge over Llorente.
Just don't want to
I mean,
pick
neither
I am
are
thoroughly
going to
walking
play.
out.
Right,
You-
fine, Llorente.
Good. Well done.
Joe Gomez.
Mignolet.
Instead of Gazaniga.
Well.
Unbelievable stuff. So we'll see how those teams get on in next week's show. So it is my favourite part of the show now. Let's find out who'll be doing this week's forfeit by looking back at your teams from last week. Sean, you're adopting Jack's team. I'm afraid he did try and stitch you up, but we'll see how we get on. These players, of course, picked from Villa Derby on Monday. Nick, you're up first. You got 25 points, which is okay.
Not bad, yeah. McGinn was star man and scored. Waghorn scored. No, and now Mohamed got an assist.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
It surprised me. You played quite well on
Happy,
Mohamed.
happy with that.
Oh dear.
Next up is Andy's team.
Oh, man.
How is that even possible? How's Harry Wilson getting a minus?
Oh,
Wow,
my.
yellow
He
card then,
Got
is it?
booked.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I've gone in
Is that
with.
our first minus in the
I've gone
series?
in with. I think Sean did when Jack stitched him. But
That's-
I've not even tried.
You've
look
tried
at
to
that
do
team.
well
Look
there.
at that team on paper.
And finally, we have Jack/Sean's team.
Whoa.
How have you won with a 5?
El Ghazi scored, didn't
Nice, Jack.
he? El Ghazi scored.
Screwed me over once already.
I mean, you've been
Even,
very
even
lucky.
if El
there.
Ghazi hadn't have scored, you'd have still won though. Since this draft system's come in, it's done me.
not
over.
your format, is it?
Not
It's
your
not your
format.
format.
You will be doing this week's forfeit, which will be eating sheep's testicles.
Oh, man.
That is ridiculous. That is absolutely outrageous.
Right, so it is time for Andy's forfeit. You have to eat sheep's testicle We have kindly cut one up for you. Dan, the producer, has cut it up all nice and good for you. That's what it looks like in the whole. A bit of rocket as well, just for presentation purposes. But
That is
feel
honestly
free
the
to-
worst smelling thing we've ever had in the
we
studio.
can't quite stress how bad that
And Jack
smells.
Townsend has been in this studio
Yeah.
as well. That's how
So-
bad this
It's,
smells.
it absolutely stinks. Andy, if you'd care to put the 3 pieces on your fork.
Andy, place the bollocks in your mouth.
Oh,
yeah,
he-
Hang on, mate.
Oh,
I don't know
wait,
where you
wait,
go.
He's got to get his vitamins, you know?
5,
4,
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh!
What was
All right,
saying?
he's getting through it.
Chewy.
Yeah, if you just forget bollocks, it's not so bad, right?
We've
Oh,
wait, where's the bucket?
We didn't. It's the one week we didn't prepare a bucket. Did you believe it?
15th show, we forget the bucket. How did it taste? Can you talk us through the taste?
What's the texture?
This is horrible.
Explain the texture. Is it chewy?
Yeah.
Can you feel the goat sperm swimming about?
Oh my word! We did. I don't think
It's
we
a sheep, isn't
despermed
it?
them, so
Oh,
unfortunately.
sorry, sheep sperm swimming about.
He's still going. Okay, I think we're going to have to leave it there because Andy will be there all day eating those sheep testicles. That is the end of this week's show. As always, we want your comments, questions, forfeit suggestions, and we will see you again next week. Thank you very much for watching.
We're out of water.
I think we need a water in here.